Thank you, Doug.
You're probably most proud of the defensive effort tonight since you guys have struggled the first two games on that side of the court, so to speak.
Yeah, no question about it. That the defensive end really does always have to anchor you as a team. In my opinion, you need to score the basketball at the pro level to win, but the best teams are the best defensive teams as well. So this was good for us to, get a feel for, being able to, even when not shooting at a high percentage, still be able to get the stops and create the turnovers so that we can get some extra opportunities. And that's been a good pattern for us. Like we've in terms of field goal attempts, we've outshot our opponent, each night in our first three games. And that's hopefully a pattern we can continue to create and expand on, but start to get more comfortable in particular our open opportunities and around the basket, we can convert at a high percentage. But defense is what gets it done ultimately. So yes, very, very proud and very happy of our group.
And just to follow up, was that something you guys worked on since you had a week of practice between games, sort of to try to iron out that defensive end a little bit?
Yeah, well, I think, as this group gets to spend more time together, just as women and as people and getting to know one another. And a lot of defense is about communication. It's about trust. It's about connection. And if you don't have those things, just because I don't know you well enough to be connected to you, I'm learning how to trust you because you're a new teammate of mine. Understanding how to communicate. Those are things that take a little bit of time with the newly formed group. I think, we tried as best as possible to take advantage of the practice days that we had, but also just, reminding them that the principles and the fundamentals that we've been working on from day one that we get away from sometimes when things, got hard in the first two games. I think tonight we did a better job of sticking with those principles, even at times when things weren't going perfectly for us.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Rashawn Haylock with Spectrum Sportsnet.
Hey, Coach. Congrats on the win.
Thanks, Rashawn.
What kind of went into the lineup change? What did you like from what you saw from Brittany coming off the bench, and then also your thoughts about Amanda in her first run?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, as we looked at our first couple games and trying to just figure out a way to, we've gotten off to good starts, but, haven't been able to, second quarter and fourth quarter, not just offensively, but also defensively sustain the energy and the effort that we need to be successful out there. And, Brittany deserves, all the credit for, just approaching it like a straight pro and, going out, still playing with that intensity and that passion that we know her for and we love her for. And that didn't change her approach at all. And, we felt like it could be something that could work well for the group. And, again, like she accepted the challenge of coming in and igniting us off the bench defensively. And right away in the first quarter, when she touched the court, the game started to change for us on that end. And then as far as Amanda, I'm sorry. I was just, really happy for her, honestly. She, had everybody had a challenging year last year in 2020, but, she's pushed through a lot mentally and physically to get herself to this point where she's on the court with a new team and a new group. She's enjoying being here. We're very thankful to have her and just happy for her that the work that she's been putting in to get herself back in the lineup paid off right away, not just with her shooting, but I think she lost her voice because she's communicating so much. And that's another thing that helped us with our defense tonight is just Amanda's communication is off the charts. And that helps the perimeter players when they're working their butts off trying to guard the ball and guard the best players in the league. They need people, they don't have eyes in the back of their head. And that's where Amanda and those bigs come into play. So she just deserves the credit for being ready to go tonight.
David Yapkowitz with Next Hoops. Oh.
Hey, Coach. You guys over the first two games, you kind of struggled to score there, especially from 3-point range. But tonight, Amanda in particular, she hit a couple threes there. And just with her in the lineup there, I know you talked about, you guys were getting opportunities, to score. You just weren't able to convert on them. But with her there and her ability to stretch the floor, her knocking down those couple of shots, how do you kind of see your offense? Do you see your offense being able to kind of get in sync a little bit more now that, she's there, and you guys and Nia too, with her shooting ability, that, some of those shots are starting to fall a little bit now?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a combination of for sure, like Amanda's ability to stretch the floor. I think that gives our perimeter players more space to get into the lane and make some things happen, which, I think for Brittany, for Erica Wheeler, for Taya Cooper, there were more driving lanes available when you have players like Amanda that can stretch the floor offensively. So that definitely helps. Nia's been a rock star since day one of training camp in terms of just doing a little bit of everything. And she made some timely baskets tonight, some great defensive possessions. But I think the group just deserves the credit over the last couple of weeks of just continuing to get to know one another and, get more comfort with what we're trying to accomplish offensively, seeing where those opportunities are, where the gaps are to attack the defense. And I thought that we did a better job of that tonight, which also contributed to a little bit more of an offensive rhythm. And, and as we get more comfortable on that end, understanding where those shot opportunities are, I think we'll improve in terms of our efficiency, whether behind the 3-point line or just overall in terms of our field goal percentage.
Time for two more with Coach. We'll go to Chris Camello.
Hey, Coach, how are you this evening?
I'm good, Chris. How are you?
I'm doing well. Congrats on the win, first of all. Second, 35 points from your bench tonight. That was definitely an area that was a little bit of a concern, probably these first couple of games in the losses to Dallas and Vegas. Just talk about what they brought to the table, and were Brittany and Amanda kind of the missing links, you think, just with getting that bench going?
Yeah, I mean, we got some dogs and some OGs into that second group. Brittany and Amanda with the experience in this league and understanding situations. And, most importantly, they're both really, really competitive, highly passionate players. And that energy is what we, really, really needed, whether it's from our first group or our second group. So they both, bring that every day. And I think that really helped us tonight to be able to sustain the effort throughout the course of the game. So they definitely deserve the credit. I think Taya's continuing to find her comfort level with where her opportunities are. And, she's gotten some great looks at the basket that haven't gone in yet. So as she gets more comfortable, taking advantage of what's there for her, I think our bench will continue to round out. But having those two veterans in there for sure give us a really well-rounded second group.
All right, last question for Coach. We'll go to Brady Klopp for SB Nation.
Derek, your defense has been really disruptive these first three games in terms of forcing turnovers. Even in those first two games, you were forcing so many turnovers, but still giving up a lot of points. And then tonight, you continued the trend of forcing turnovers, being disruptive on that end of the court, but you didn't give up so many points. What was the difference between those two games and this one that allowed that turnover creation and that disruption and all those deflections to actually really play in your favor this time?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, again, Brittany and Amanda, like, really giving our second group, a foundation, right? Like, we were asking a lot of like, whether first year players and Arella, Coop, it's her second year, but it's really like a rookie year. There was no training camp last year. A lot of things that are different about this year, and a lot of new teammates, and Bria Holmes and Nia Coffey and Jasmine Walker, who was a rookie. And so there's just a lot, of inexperience in that second unit. And so to be fortunate enough to have two players, like Slim and Amanda, like that really helped us. Because, we've done a decent job in the first quarter, in our first few games, but just hadn't been able to sustain it. And so having that energy and that competitiveness in that second quarter and fourth quarter, that really, I think, was a difference tonight in terms of still being disruptive, but not giving up as many scoring opportunities. And hopefully that's something we can build on.